I take pictures of my kids, but never myself.
Difficult to do through the phone title.
Oh my god, it's everyone!
Good.
Yes, everyone!
I love everything about the stream, like in the layout and everything.
Oh, good.
I know, it looks really good. Good
I like
job.
Nice.
Yeah, Nick helped a lot. We got it all figured out, and now
I got your fan.
Yes, sir. It's a Rem. Good evening, Rem. We're just about ready to get started here. Yeah, gonna hop into a recap. Anyone wanna recap for inspo, or should I just hop right in?
Nissa got high. And Totem got high. No, Nissa convinced Totem to buy a kilt, and then they got high together while people were making the kilts. That was my part.
That is
I can for a recap, but if somebody else wants to do it, I gets it. Hey, BT Dubs, Katie, do you want to give us a little soundtracky?
Oh yeah, I forgot we could do that.
Yeah, we can do that now.
We can do the thing. But yeah,
And technically, you're not an affiliate, so you're not monetizing, so it's less frowned upon if we use anything.
That's right, I'm gonna use whatever I want.
Okay, there's that.
I hate my squeaky chair.
Yeah, it's really taken my brain to bad places.
That's exactly the story of his first second.
I mean,
His
that's
first
how it all
tape.
got started.
My child is like 3 feet away from me, so I gotta...
Here we go.
No, you're not 3 feet away from
What
me.
you say?
No. Hang out, Goose.
But yeah, Nick, if you wanted to do a recap for it.
Excellent. And let me just adjust the volume on Hydra real quick, as I think I still have it and it's thicker than wine. There we go. Okay, so at the last session, we all had returned to the town of Greenest. It was there that we kind of had reconvened after Nissa took a little bit of time to score some, shall we say, organic produce, some lettuce of the electric variety. From there, we did ultimately splinter off into 2 groups. Nissa and Totem had split off to procure some clothing for Totem after a bit of a run-in at the school there where we had gone to gather some information, maybe see if we could figure out something about the magical items that we had found and or the people that we had found them from. After the unfortunate run-in with Totem being seen by some students and no longer being allowed within 100 leagues of any school in the greater Baldur's Gate area, Nissa, in her brilliant thinking, decided maybe we should finally get him some clothes. So they went and commissioned him a kilt, and then decided that they should partake of the electric lettuce. Meanwhile, Kathios and Ronick were handling biz as we went to the library to just kind of do a bit of looking around, and we found a very strange moment where a gentleman had brushed past us and had completely evaded Kathios' gaze, which, while this would have been a fairly normal bit of circumstance for most people, Kathios is one who is very well aware of her surroundings, so the fact that somebody was able to evade her notice for so long and draw so close to us was unsettling, to say the least. We then spoke with Instructor Garenberg and had decided that our journey should take us to Candlekeep. Ultimately kind of taking the consideration unto ourselves of, do we head north, try to go through some towns and go to Baldur's Gate, or do we head the other way and go to Candlekeep? I think, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we decide that we were going to head towards Candlekeep because there was more information there and we thought that, hey, we could take this and possibly use it against the Cult of the Dragon, helping the small towns along the way as we went?
What I remember is we're doing a 2 birds with 1 stone thing. We're going to go to Baldur's Gate and then Candlekeep.
And then to Candlekeep.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Alright, and then, oh, that's right, and we were thinking that by going to Baldur's Gate we could get a writ of passage by developing a name for ourselves and building a counter legend to the Dragon Cult. We would continue to build our reputation as we approached Baldur's Gate, get ourselves a writ of passage, and have entry to Candlekeep, which, without a writ of passage or a particular piece of literature, we would otherwise have no means of entering. No means of entering title.
That is all correct. Yeah, you were going to go to Candlekeep first, but after you got that tidbit about the mittens into Candlekeep, you thought Boulder's Gate would be a good first step. So, yeah, that was really thorough. Thank you.
I take a lot of notes.
Yeah, gotta have one of those note takers, because it ain't me. I have it all up here, but notes just makes it sound a little bit better.
Well, that's my secret. I make it all up as I go along anyway.
Don't we all? Alright, so you all had logged down for the night after finding Totem and Nissa
Because we
partaking
got
in
high.
the
Because we
electric
got
lettuce.
high. Because we got high. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Essentially, yeah. And so, yeah, you all have a good night's rest, uninterrupted, and you awake the next morning. I know that you each have your own rooms on the same floor on that hallway at the second level of the keep. Ronick, you hear a light knock at your door as you begin to awaken for the morning.
Alright, well, I suppose then I'll rise up out of my bed and open it just a peek. Good morning. What can I do for you?
Ronick, good morning. I hate to disturb you. I don't suppose you recognize me, and he kind of steps back away from the door a little bit so you can see him. And you notice that it's one of the soldiers who had escorted you guys from the camp the day before, that previous morning, back to Greenest.
Do I happen to recall a name when I gaze upon them?
This particular soldier had not given you his name, but you do recognize him from the group.
I recognize the face, I think. Pray forgive me, I don't recall your name, friend. What is it?
I apologize. Roderick, sir. Just a soldier.
Roderick. He kind of gives a dismissive wave of his hand. No apologies necessary, my friend. Would you like to come in? I could prepare some tea, or...
Any other time would be great. I'm just here to deliver a message. The captain was supposed to send word to you guys yesterday afternoon. Caught up with some business, and well, unfortunately, we have to leave quickly this morning, back to Neverwinter.
I see. Are they convinced then that there's no immediate threat in this area?
I'm not sure it's that. It's some very pressing business. I'm not sure what it is, but it seemed urgent, and we were told to pack up and leave this morning, and I was told to let the four of you know as I said, we got busy with other preparations.
I can forward that along to the others. I thank you for informing me so early.
Absolutely, and I know that we were supposed to debrief with you guys. It's not necessary, but if you wanted to stop by this morning, we're going to be down in the courtyard of the keep here just before departure to make sure all the horses are ready for the ride.
We'll make it a priority to come and check in with you then. It's the least we can do.
Perfect. I'll let Captain know, and we'll see you soon.
He gives a fly bow of his head and reaches up with his trunk to tip his hat and realizes it's not there. So does the sort of salute with his trunk and realizes how awkward that is and closes the door with a quiet creak in the same defeated sense that he feels in that moment.
Defeat. The rest of you just sort of awaken slowly from your peaceful slumber. Everybody, actions, free to roll a social initiative, and we'll just go ahead and hold on to that for the rest of the game.
5.
Just a straight d20 on this?
Yeah, just a straight d20.
Oh, one moment. You're gonna do great things, and I know you will. Thank you in advance. Hot damn, 18! Thank you. Thank you.
5.
You two are still stoned.
Yeah, probably.
It's electric. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Kathy is 15, 5 and 5. What did you get, Nick? Ronick?
18.
18. Well, you were already the first to wake. Let's go ahead and move to Cathios. You wake up, Cathios. It's a bright morning that's very peaceful. There doesn't seem to be anything going on. You don't hear any activity immediately outside. Is there anything specific you wanted to do this morning?
So, Cathios goes to her usual routine of changing the baby dragon's diaper, feeding, and just kind of moving him around, get a little exercise.
Sure. Gotta keep him healthy.
Yes, fuck you.
Fuck you!
And that's basically all she does, is just getting hungry and about to search for some breakfast.
Sure. Sure.
GM, could we assume that around the time that she finishes, and as the others do their turns, that perhaps she gets a knock on the door from Ronick? I can just go to her room first.
Yep, absolutely. Nissa, you wake to a peaceful morning. There doesn't seem to be any pressing matters as you kind of wake up from very peaceful sleep. Is there anything you want to accomplish this morning before you go out?
I'm gonna get up and do some stretches and yoga poses and take care of her dragon and just kind of chill in her room and really mellow out.
Kind of fresh after last night.
She had a wonderful sleep. She's never been more rested.
Yeah, trust me, the hangovers don't work in the same way.
I need some.
Nope.
Excuse me.
Toto,
Little foggy
you wake up feeling refreshed in a way you've never felt before after yesterday afternoon's events. It's peaceful. There doesn't seem to be any pressing matters at hand. Do you want to do anything before you start the day?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Totem and Little Rage. We're taking some flying lessons today. So I tell you what, Totem's like chucking him on the bed a little bit, kind of like, come on.
Oh no. Alright, okay.
And sometimes. No, that's all. Well, let's call it that.
Just throwing dragons.
Yeah.
It's a normal morning. Yeah, absolutely.
How to chuck your dragon?
Alright, well with that out of the way, Ronick, you proceed down to Cathios' room and you knock on her door.
Knock, knock.
Cathios opens it with a dirty diaper in hand, getting ready to find somewhere to put it.
He wraps his trunk around his neck in sort of revulsion to the stench.
Oh, Ronick.
Mm.
Ronick, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Let me dispose of this. They don't,
That would be appreciated.
they don't really have a garbage.
There's probably I think you could assume there's like a chamber pot in your room. You could just dump it in there.
Yeah.
Oh, a chili pot. That's right. We have those.
Moment. And he's gonna go in and just sprinkle a little bit of prestidigitation as multicolored sparkles swirl around the pot. The odor does dissipate within moments.
Nice. Magic potpourri.
He gives this big, deep, relieved sort of breath. Good morning, Cathios. Did you rest well?
Yes, I felt great and I felt refreshed. How are you doing?
Oh, well, he lifts his hat and Ryu kind of looks down and gives a little Ryu and I slept well enough. How was Joaquin adjusting?
Pretty well. He seems to actually enjoy... He seems to be more alert lately.
Well, that's good. You know, I figured I'd go and maybe rouse you and the others a little early. Some of the forces that's helped us get back to Greenest, they swung by my chambers just a little bit earlier. They said that they're going to be departing back to Neverwinter shortly, and they will be gathering in one of the squares near here. I figured maybe going and talking to them could be a good chance to figure out what's going on in that regard, and assumed that maybe the rest of them would want to come along.
That's a good idea. Well, I'll accompany you to wake the others. Or we'll see the others.
Well, shall we?
Let's go.
Sorry, I lost my screen. Okay, so the two of you house Nissa and Totem and kind of get them from their room. You can meet in the hallway or gather in one of the rooms privately if you'd like. Whichever's preferable.
I would assume that we could just simply meet in a hallway. It's not like super confidential business.
Yeah. Okay, so the four of you are now dragons awake and possibly fed, depending on your rations. But you're all now standing in the hallway with Ronick wanting to talk about something. So go ahead, Ronick.
By the way, Katie, I think you had named him Reginald, Little Reggie.
I remembered.
Okay.
Little
I just remembered
Reggie.
because you named them that, and I was sweating bullets.
I had to put that in a couple pages in my quote book. I did think to write it down.
Oh my god! Oh my god, Reginald! Yeah! Anywho, Ronick will kind of greet them with a friendly smile as he looks at each of them. Good morning, everyone. Did you both sleep well then?
Slept so well.
What about little Reggie?
Reggie slept really good too. He kind of just curled up right next to me, and it kept me really warm all night. Like I didn't even need a blanket.
Well, that's great. And what about you, Totem? How did you sleep?
I hate it. I fell asleep, full, but then I woke up hungry. I just don't get it.
Oh, I suppose that is a problem that we should rectify shortly. I don't know if there's enough food at this inn for you, though.
True. Just, I just wish this witchcraft just stop.
He still got the munchies.
Still, some lingering effects.
It's downstairs. The proprietor is sobbing uncontrollably.
No, you're not at an inn. You're at
Yeah.
Does it matter?
Yeah,
The people at the keep are crying uncontrollably.
it's true. It's true.
And how about little Rage? Is he doing all right?
Yeah. He'll learn how to fly pretty soon.
He raises an eyebrow but says nothing.
Cassius gives him a look. What do you mean fly?
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't really show you here, but next time we go to the room and stuff, I'll show you how we practice. And he'll kind of do like a gesture, like...
It's a baby! Totem, it's a baby! Cassius is just horrified and just like, really, you're doing this?
He's a fast learner.
Alright. So what are you guys gonna do from here?
Veronica will inform them just as he did with Cathios about the guards gathering up prior to departure.
Oh, it would be... They were asking us to accompany them, you mentioned?
They didn't necessarily ask to be accompanied, but I figured it could be a chance to say goodbye and maybe any insight that could be gleaned from speaking with them. After all, our enemy is formidable. Any bit of information, anything that we might glean, maybe even insight as to where to go next, any terrorized towns, places to build our legends, so to speak.
I agree, yeah.
Shall we?
You
I
get the
suppose say cheerio.
Oh, what?
Cheerio, ta-ta, ciao, goodbye.
It's like a head tilt.
Her own secret world, her own secret language.
This has ever been a mystery to me. Fascinating. He takes out his book and just like starts like just scrawling.
These words he's never heard before.
Oh. Some kind of vernacular from Northern lands.
Alright, so with that, you guys start moving down the ground floor of the keep, and just as you exit the inside of the building, you enter into the courtyard, and you see on the far right wall as you leave, there's that large stable that was unoccupied before during the siege. It's now full of horses, and there's a large group of units that's from this distance look to be the Knights of Honor who you've spoken with before. The group that you assume is where Roderick said he would be. I'm assuming you want to speak to them.
Yeah, we'll go and approach, and if I see Roderick anywhere, I'll go ahead and sort of flag him down as that's a familiar face to the organization.
Okay. Yep, so the four of you head on over.
You're completely cutting out, I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Really?
Like you came in there with really, but everything else was gone.
Yeah, I watched you like
Yeah,
talking and
recording
narrating and
and then cut, yeah.
yeah,
Just get closer to my microphone.
there you go. Just get it all the way in there. Tickle the back of your throat a little bit with it.
Alright, so,
And
what's up?
oh, no worries, do your thing.
Okay. So the four of you head over towards the Knights of Honor, and you see Roderick. He's finishing up saddling up one of his horses that he's probably going to be using. And just next to him is Tananat, the captain of the group, who was accompanying the battalion lord from before, Sithandriel, the young woman with the blonde hair who seemed to be in charge, who's no longer here.
So
Tananat has his
the
back turned
lady's
to
not
you.
there?
Not that you can tell. Tananat, he had met with you guys, if you remember, on the plains just after you snuck in and out of the encampment. Before you guys
also
snuck
at
into
the
the
keep
cave.
when we first got there too?
Yeah, he's been here the whole time.
Yeah.
Yes, he was
I
at the
remember
keep,
Tananat.
and he was the one who brought the forces out to the Dragon Cult camp before you guys headed into the cave system. So, he has his back turned to you, he doesn't see you, and Roderick seems to be busy also. The two of them are standing next to each other.
Ronak glances to his companions. That sort of unspoken phrase of who would like to go forward.
Cathios nods and like leads the way.
I'll leave all the talking to you, Ronick.
Yes.
And he sort of like nervously shrugs his shoulders a bit and pulls his hat down a little more with his trunk and approaches. Sir Tananat.
He turns around. Yes, oh, it's the four of you. Great, I was hoping we would see you before we left. How are you?
He glances to the others so they can mayhap give a reply.
Just wonderful.
You all rested well, I assume?
Very well.
Good to hear it. Unfortunately, we have to direct orders to move back to Neverwinter. Unfortunately, it was chaos yesterday, and I didn't have time to get a debrief with you. If you'd like, he kind of he turns around and reaches into his saddlebag and pulls out a roll of parchment. Feel free to write down anything that you remember from the incidents of days past, as detailed as possible, and put them in this letter. He leaves a signet ring with a can of wax ensure that if you send this, that it has the seal of this ring on it as well. It will help ensure that it gets to the right hands as swiftly as possible.
Nissa takes the ring and puts it on.
I'll leave that in your care, Nessa.
Tonanot sort of raises an eyebrow at you, but he doesn't say much after that.
Tell me, Tonanot, what news from the north? We were thinking that our journeys might take us through Burdusk up to Scornable. Has there been any happenings up there that you know of?
After the retreat of the Cult of the Dragon, normally a group of that size attracts a lot of attention, and usually you get reports on something like that, but they seem to have gone unnoticed. I have no idea where they're going. I'm hoping that you guys have some information regarding that after the excursion. But again, really? You want to tell them? Do you want to tell them? Okay.
Honestly, the way that she described his expression right there was priceless.
I did roll for initiative.
Absolutely. I think you guys need to roll for initiative.
Oh shit.
No, but it's if you have any information regarding that, please include it in the. But as I said, direct orders to move immediately to Neverwinter. There seems to be he looks around, a treaty signing that's going to be taking place in the next couple of weeks. I cannot disclose the details of that, unfortunately. It's classified. But if you happen to make it to Neverwinter in the next weeks, please seek me out.
Absolutely.
Ronik's going to lean in a little bit, and I'll roll persuasion if the DM would like me to.
Sure.
You say that this is confidential, but surely you could not spare a bit of information or two for those who fought beside you to save the people of Greenest. Surely you know we're trustworthy.
Did you roll?
That is going to be a natural 20!
Yeah.
Not Google! Oh god, why? Hold on. I clicked the wrong thing in roll 20 and it took me to a different window. Natural 20?
Natural 20, baby.
Okay.
Though, since I do understand that's not an automatic guaranteed success, that's a 27 total.
Okay.
So pretty effing good.
So he gives you this really stern look for just a moment. Leans back, looks around, looks over to Roderick. Roderick seemed to have been listening in, and he quickly goes back to work. He moves to the back of the stable and lowers his voice and gestures you in as he starts to whisper. It's not necessarily classified information, but I was told not to disclose what was being spoken of. It's a peace treaty between 7 major kingheads and this new group from the east. I forget what they're called. Githyanki, that's what it is. The tribe that was found, what is it now, 20 years ago? Neverwinter has been leading not an expedition, but they've been trying to figure out a way to get on good terms with the Githyanki. They're very tribalistic and sort of backwards, if you understand what I'm saying. They're very quick to anger and they're difficult to deal with, but these last 20 years seem to have been fruitful enough to warrant an actual treaty. So, that's what's going on. But again, given the nature of it, I recommend you quiet till the actual treaty has been signed. I trust I have your discretion in this.
Of course, I'll not say a word. I just wanted to know if... Well, never mind. I was just worried about international matters maybe interfering with the attention that the Dragon Cult should be receiving.
Oh, not at all. The Knights of Honor are always on the move, and they need to be stopped. Whatever it is they're attempting is incredibly dangerous and a threat to the entire Sword Coast. However, national affairs like this, treaties being signed, me and several of the other higher-ups are being requested to be stationed there.
My group and I are going to continue pursuing the Dragon Cult to find a way to thwart whatever their nefarious plans may be. Tell me, Tonanot, is there a way that we might contact the Knights of Honor quickly, should we find anything of note?
Aside from writing a letter, you can use that signet ring in any... we have an embassy in all 7 of them.
I got about 2 out of 3 syllables on them, I'm sorry.
We have an embassy in all 7 of the major cities. You can leave information or anything of that nature with the embassies, and they'll back to us, or, as I said, you can write the letters, reach the right channels. Whatever works for you.
I see. You have my thanks.
Of course, and you have ours. The Cult of the Dragon is incredibly dangerous, and it's good that we have some additional adventure to assist in the matter.
So it seems. Travel safely.
And you as well. I look forward to hearing from you soon.
And he tips his hat again with his trunk. May the 3 watch over you.
And may the Almighty be with you. Alright, men, we're moving. Let's go. He comes up the troops he has there. They all mount their horses and they ride out rather swiftly. Leaving the 4 of you alone in the courtyard.
I'm assuming with that Ronick had gone aside with him. Or was everybody present?
I mean, they could have been. He kind of gestured to all of you, so I assume but he didn't have to. What? What's that mean? What?
To the others, did you guys go along as well?
No.
Okay. They stay you're alone.
Yes.
In case Ronick will return and just kind of fill them in on what he knows. With a troubled glance as he watches the Knights of Honor upon their departure, he looks back to the others and says, the unfortunate part is if there are international affairs that are going to take them up to Neverwinter, that's going to take our only known trustworthy allies far to the north. Yes, they have embassies in all the major cities, but our journeys are going to take us into many cities that are a far cry from that. Maybe Scornable might be the only stop along the way where we could send word, but even then, it would be days, weeks, possibly months for them to get down. We're effectively isolated.
So it's going to be pretty risky and dangerous during this journey.
Let's just say I wouldn't let a whole lot of people see our children.
We'll just have to, work smarter, not harder.
I like that.
What do you propose?
Well, first we need to go pick up Totem's kill, because I think that's what my mind said. And, he kind of stands out in a crowd, the way he is.
It's a rather large subject to slip your mind.
Didn't we pick up the kill with Maxwell when we came back to
Oh,
that?
did you?
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oh my god, okay.
That
So
reminds
we just
me,
need to get a guest in it.
Kathios,
Yes?
maybe you could help. You have a good rapport with him.
Hello?
Well, I mean, it would be a little awkward if I were to help him get dressed. And he kind of like holds up his like big, just thick hands, like these aren't exactly the most nimble hands.
Oh, okay, yes, I understand. I
The
get you.
tailor showed him how to do it yesterday.
But you
When he
were
was
also the
measured.
electric lettuce.
After.
How am I to know such things?
Well,
I'll be right back, guys.
Cathio's flashing back to last time trying to tie her cowl around Totem and nearly her face hitting it. Goes, Totem, why don't you try yourself? Maybe remember a few things when they showed you. And if you can't get it, then I'll try to help.
I was really hoping that Ronick would help me. You know, a brother in need.
If you feel that you need my help, my friend, then you have it. Ronick will go and help him tie up that kilt, man. You know, it's it may look a little janky, but it's not. You know, it'll cover the majority of it. Just a little bit hanging down past it.
It's a mini skirt.
Oh God.
Why is this worse? Why is this so much worse?
I wasn't expecting this. This is bad. This is really bad, guys.
It's like it draws your attention to it. Your gaze, and you can't stop.
The bright colors, I can't help it.
Maybe instead we should just like wrap it around it.
No!
Like hot chili peppers.
Blood gift wrapped it.
Oh my goodness. This is what this game needed.
This is peak D&D right here.
We did it, guys. We did it. We can now graduate.
Oh, I'm an adult.
I promise.
No, but we can assume that the two of them can probably muddle through it. Most likely, probably, maybe,
Probably.
definitely.
So do you guys want to head over and get the kilt first?
Remember, we grabbed it, though. Or we...
You did. That's right. Okay, so, Totem, I need you to first roll me an intelligence roll. And you're muted, just FYI.
Oh gosh. Oh God.
Oh no.
And then pair that with a dexterity roll. Oh no! So, you attempt to put this kilt on, and you do essentially what Cathia said you were gonna do. You just wrap it around it. You don't even try to put it on. You're like, is this right, guys? Like, right? This is correct, right?
All happy.
It's not correct.
He's all happy, his hand on his hips and stuff, like, yeah, I demolished this.
That you did, my friend. That you did.
It's absolutely wrong.
Cathios is just like,
Oh, I'm so sorry, Cathios. Does the red hurt your eyes?
yes, the red absolutely hurts my eyes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Next time I'll get blue kind.
Here, let's try a different way. Maybe there's another way we can wear this. I will help. I'll help you.
But
You are muted, Totem.
but
Oh,
it would be inside out, wouldn't it be?
No, let's try this. She proceeds to help, like just take it off there and just hand it here. She's still just.
Go ahead and roll a dexterity roll for me.
I tell ya, it's like a half holding a watermelon.
Yay, 16.
Okay, you successfully assist in getting the kilt on the proper way.
There we go. How do you feel?
Not bad. Not bad. I still feel the wind's
Breezy,
going
right?
through. Yeah. I kind of like that. He's kind of like shaking a little back and forth.
You get airflow.
Yeah. That's really nice.
Alright, cool.
And then he turns away, hands on his hips, looks back at everyone else, does a smile. Yeah.
You look good, Totem.
Thank you.
Hilton it.
Cute,
You're killing it.
Nice.
Alright, so with Totem successfully dressed and appropriate for social, what's the word I'm looking for? Integration, you can now proceed through the city unhindered and unscorned and unashamed.
That's definitely a plus.
Hold up. Did you say unshamed?
Unshamed,
Great session, you guys. I'll be back in a couple weeks.
right?
Wait, why?
I'm not here to be not shamed.
Right. That'll come later, don't worry.
Is there anywhere that anybody else wants to go? I did all of my equipment shopping already, so I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you guys essentially did all your prepping
Yeah, we
yesterday and the previous days, so.
Yeah, I'm good.
Do we want to wait a minute for Katie to come back? I don't know what she went to go do.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was asking if we got rations. On Discord. She's said.
We did not get that's the idea.
I don't think you guys got rations. I think I got rations.
Yeah, I think Nick grabbed a couple. Since you guys are there in the keep, you remember that there is a small kitchenette off of the barracks, the barracks that you guys used to sneak in and out of the keep secretly during the invasion. You are free to check down there if you like. Otherwise, you can head into the city, at the general store, or any of the inns at your leisure to look for rations.
I think we'll check the barracks place where we snuck it out of the keep. Yeah.
If you'd like to go there, I'd be glad to accompany you.
Well, thank you.
Shall we, Totem? After all, you're looking pretty snazzy in that new getup. I think you might turn a few heads, my friend. And he kind of goes in, he whispers a bit, instead of covering his mouth with his hand, covers it with his large ear. It could be practice for when that one ever comes back, the one that you were,
Oh yes, Wing Buddy. I
Oh,
gotcha.
yeah, wing buddies. He gives an awkward attempt at a wink over to Cathios.
Catherine looks over at Rob. Do you have something in your eye? Are you okay?
Isn't that what people do up here along the Sword Coast? You do the isn't that and he kind of he's got those kind of big, thick hands, and he tries to make finger guns. It's this, right? And he tries to force the wink. Is that
Oh,
that's
yes. Okay, I see what you're doing.
yes, that's exactly it.
Hey, Catherine.
So so very effortless.
You'll get it.
Lots of practice.
Lots of practice. Yeah, you'll get it.
Shall we?
Why are you guys shooting at each other? I thought we was friends.
No, Totem, no. This is a friendly gesture. See, they're fake. But I don't know why we do this. It just became the normal thing. You just
Oh, I thought he was robbing you and he's robbing him back.
No, that's actually based on a story that was told near Neverwinter called Robin Hood. It's about a man that robs from the rich and steals. No, yes, robs from the rich and steals from the poor, as I recall, right? Or was it robs the poor and steals?
He
I've
sounds
only
like a
read
bad.
it once.
He sounds like a bad guy.
No, wait, no, the one that robs from the poor to give to the rich is Lord Bezos. Real, too real.
Oh, that was good though.
Oh my god.
We
Yep.
now have Lord Bezos in our cave.
Thank
Taxation's
you.
fast!
Oh man. Just what we needed. Oh gosh. Alright, so you guys moving on over to the barracks? Scour the
Yes.
kitchens? Yeah? Alright. Excuse me. So you make your way over to the barracks embedded in the wall, and it heads down into that cellar-like portion, and just to the right, where you actually hit the barracks and the jail area, you see the small kitchenette, and inside is a single individual over a fire with a pot. Looks like they're making some stew or something. Young boy, probably in his mid to late teens, scruffy brown hair. He's stirring the pot, looks over to you. Hi, can I help you guys? This is the barracks kitchen. I think you maybe have the wrong place.
No, we're friends with the governor and the soldiers. We saved everybody. We're about to leave, and I was hoping we could get, the snacks for the road.
Oh! And he starts pointing his finger. Yeah, you guys are the ones that fought all those bad guys in town. Oh yeah, I remember. That was really cool. Oh man. And then you fought that dragon guy, and then there was that dragon flying around. Man, it was crazy. Oh, I almost died. Are you guys okay?
Yeah, actually, we're really good.
Oh, good.
We've gotta go to Baldur's Gate though, so we've got kind of a journey. If you could get us maybe just a couple days until we get to the next town,
Oh,
a little bit worth of food.
some soldier's rations. Sure,
Yeah, we
sure.
can pay for it.
Yeah, you probably should. The stock's a little bit low, and I haven't got. Hold on just a minute. I'll see if he runs over. There's a cubby in the wall, with shelves on it. And he's looking through it, and you see a bunch of little packages bundled up. There's about 8 of them, and he starts pulling them off the shelf. Hold on. He starts doing some math on his finger. It's gonna be like 10 silver, I think. That sounds right. 10 silver? Is that okay? I think that sounds fair.
I can do that. Here. And she'll hand over. So 10 silver is 1 gold, right?
Yeah.
Or is it the other?
Yeah.
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 Okay, so she'll just hand over a gold piece and then 2 silvers. Here's a tip. Thank you for all your help.
You guys, an actual gold and a tip? That's a lot. Wow, you guys are really generous.
It's just 2 silvers. You've just been
Okay.
so helpful and complimentary, and you should treat yourself.
Wow, I can treat my whole family with this. This is great, guys. You didn't have to do that. That's. Oh, here. And he hands over the food. There you go. There's only 8 of them there. That should be enough. I think. He looks at you. You guys hunt too, right? There's lots of game on the field.
Oh my god.
Most of the people
yes.
that come through do their own hunting too, so you should be all right.
Kathios is really good at hunting. I don't eat as much meat, but I appreciate it. I can supplement with my own stuff, so don't even worry. We really appreciate it. And yeah,
Of course.
we've had a wonderful stay here in Greenest. Do you know how beautiful your town is?
Oh, absolutely.
When there's not dragons flying over it, threatening to burn it all down.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
no,
was
the
him
direction
as
was bad.
Surrey.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
I'm
We
glad
almost
that's
lost our
done.
house, but I'm glad you guys came. Man, it was so really great of you guys to come in and help. Man, that was great.
Yep. Well, just remember us. Tell your friends that we're cool, and
I'll never forget. Everybody knows who you are. I mean, you guys are like the local heroes.
okay. Well, it's been fabulous. We need to go. Thank you.
Of course, safe travels. I hope to see you guys again.
Hope to see you as well. Much appreciated.
Thank you. Have a good trip. And, you guys are off. Got some rations in hand.
Nissa,
Mhm.
I just, you had mentioned that you had other means of finding food. Do you think you might be able to maybe help me out with that?
Yeah, totally. I don't really, I'll do like fish, but I don't really eat a lot of meat, so.
I can't even do that.
Okay, but I have good berry spell, and that can like fill up your tummy. It's not the most delicious, but I also, I'm pretty good at foraging. We do that a lot back home in my forest. So like, don't even trip potato chip.
What is a potato chip?
It's a fried slice of potato.
But potatoes are delicious by themselves. Are they better when fried? Should I try that?
Everything's better when fried, honey.
Oh, I see.
Alright, so fried potatoes. But yeah, you guys have your rations. As you guys are making your way out, you see the mayor, and he sees you guys and waves. Oh, good morning.
Morning.
What are the four of you up to today?
Leaving.
Oh, so soon? You only just arrived.
Places to go, evil to stop.
I suppose the cult of the dragon is still out and about, right? Yes. Terrible deal. Well, where are you guys headed to next? Where's the search leading?
We're just gonna.
Pretty intense music.
Oh, that's fucking intense shit right there.
Do we need to roll
This is
the
Two wicked black blades.
not my usual playlist.
Michael Petrelli!
Oh god.
All of a sudden, we just see Schmidt get grabbed out of his chair and Michael sitting there.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Is he Washington?
Michael is everywhere. Do not underestimate him.
Gotcha. We figured we would just head a certain direction and see what else we could find, and hopefully find some evil cult to fight.
I see. That makes sense. Did you learn anything when you were in the camp? I know we talked about it briefly, but... is there anything specific I should know? Anything I should look out for, keep an eye out? Do you know if they might be coming back this way? I'd like to keep the town prepared, but I don't want to keep everybody on their laurels for an extended period of time. That's exhausting.
Yeah, I don't think so. We kind of figured that they were going to bigger cities to try to get more resources, so we kind of squashed their plans here. So.
I see. Well, it's good that you did. Okay, well, if you ever need to send word, if you know of anything, if our fair little town ever is in the of being in danger, please send word if you can. Again, I'd like to be prepared for worst case, evacuate with much notice possible.
Of course.
And you guys are always welcome back. You're essentially town hero at this point, and
If the taverns are ever filled up and room, I can't imagine they will be, but if that's ever the case, feel free to stop here at the keep, and those rooms will always be open unless I have dignitaries. That never happens. Nobody likes to come here that's... Well, you know the nobles. They don't like the country. Bad air or something. Who knows?
But you know what? That's their loss.
Truly it is. It's beautiful out here. But if you must be off, be off. The only other thing I have some horses in the stable, and before you say anything, Nick, I know you can't ride a horse. However, I could give you 2 horses, and they can carry supplies for it. It's a little one here, Nissa, can always ride without hindering the horses at all. They're good work horses, and they've still got a lot of years on them, so feel free to take them and use them on your travels to help you on your way.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. We actually have more here than we can... that we have to haul around. We ended up with an excess. So, 2 will not be an issue. They're in the stables around back. I couldn't have them here in the Knights of Honor on their quick departure, but if you head around the backside to the north of the keep, they'll be right out there.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, of course, of course.
Thank you for everything.
Absolutely. Well, safe travels to you. Please, if this disaster with the Cult of the Dragon is ever anytime soon, I hope you do visit Greenest again. It would be good to have you back. It's good for morale, if nothing else, and maybe some tourism as well.
Totally.
He just gives us a little bit of a chuckle, and well, I suppose I'll get back to work then, and I'll leave you to your business. Safe travels, and send word if you need anything. I'm always here.
Be well, Mayor.
Take care, you four. And he heads back up the stairs and towards his office, you think, and he disappears. The 4 of you are now in the courtyard. What would you like to do?
Is it time to get going on our journey?
Well, the sooner we leave, the sooner we get there.
Burn some daylight.
What? Potatoes?
Ronick, are you hungry?
I'm very, very hungry.
Maybe we should eat first. We don't want to leave on an empty stomach.
It's alright, I've got some rations. You guys are right. We should use the daylight that we have.
Holy crap, I want potatoes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, me too.
I'm fine. I assure you. Let's go then. What should we name them?
The
The
potatoes?
horsemen?
The
Obviously, we should
horses.
name them Potato and Chip.
I like
Oh
this
my
idea.
I suppose the old saying, just follow your nose, also applies to just follow your stomach. Potato and chip it is. Alright.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
Oh, there was an old story back in my homeland of Tajville of a great horse with a majestic golden mane. Her name was Mrs. Dickens.
It's true.
Old stories, and someday I hope to find a horse as majestic and incredible as the one from those tales. with every fiber of my being, DM. Just like from the mountains far to the east, just at the very peak of the Sunset Mountain, she just looks down. Mrs. Dickens.
A massive epic down the mountain, leaving quakes in her path.
Mrs. Dickens was actually one of the 4 horses of the apocalypse in this. We
Yes.
got away from horsemen because we wanted to give a little more
Yeah.
quality to it. So the horses themselves now handle that, and by the way, we're all dead.
Yes, it's true. Everybody dies.
It was a good
No, not at all. Okay, so you guys go around to the north place of the keep, fetch your horses, Potato and Chip. They're good workhorses, large enough that even Totem could probably ride the larger of the 2, which is the male horse.
Chip.
It must be Chip. And probably ride it for a few hours without exhausting it too much, despite his size. So with that, any last things you want to accomplish in Greenest before you head out? No? No more looking into the mysterious stream? That's
Is
something
there-
you wanted to pursue?
Oh, listen, okay. I know enough at this point after having done this shit for years.
Do you, though? Do you?
That sounds a lot like making a trip down to the Department of Other People's Business.
Oh. Yeah, it is.
In the department of minding our own business.
In the spirit of not wanting to meta, I'd like to, if you may, DM, I'd simply like to roll a d20.
Yeah, go ahead.
11 or up, maybe we'll look into it. 10 or below, Ronick will look to the current task at hand.
Sure.
12.
Oh,
As we're kind of departing and, we've got the horses in tow, supplies loaded onto them, Ronick gives pause as we near the edge of the village, the expanse of the wilds now before us. And he looks to Cathios and with a shake of his head, he says, something's still bothering me, though.
Is it the person that surprised us in the library?
It's not adding up. The geography section, I don't understand. I don't know what they were looking for, and I don't understand how they could have evaded your gaze so easily like that.
It's very worrisome.
It's not that I cast doubt on the stranger. I suppose it may seem like that. I just worry that this person, with the abilities they possess, may have ties to the dragon cult. Say, Nissa, and Totem as well. You're both well-traveled. You know a fair bit about the land. Do the Great Peaks, the Sunset Mountains? Let me see here. The Serpent Hills, the Hill of Lost Souls, Sheridan, Lork, Parnast, the Nether. Do any of those ring any kind of a bell to you? Obviously, they're all places to the east, but is there anything that is in common aside from their respective locations?
well, you see, you said that I'm well traveled and really
I'll be right
not.
You going to bed, kid?
But you are, though.
No, I just rolled a 6 on a history check.
Aw, yeah, you know so
And-
much stuff.
And honestly, Nissa wouldn't know because she really is not well traveled.
Yeah.
What about Totem?
Oh, I was gonna wait till he got
Totem's
back.
Probably the most well-traveled,
Exactly.
other than, maybe Ronick. He's done a lot of soul searching, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, Great Peak and Spine of the World, around that section there. Totem's more traveled.
Totem's a northerner.
Yeah, I don't do the South. No.
Honestly, this is the farthest Nis has been away from home, and considering she's from the Wood of Sharp Teeth, it's not very far.
Not far at all, but you know. Sharp teeth.
What?
Right. Let's see. I probably should have been down here. So, greenest. And sharp teeth right here. Yeah.
Cathios is
You
from-
went very far.
Cathios is from the Lost Forest, and I can't even remember where that is.
Yeah, because I think I remember started because I went looking for it, and I think you must have looked at a different map because I couldn't find it.
It only appears certain days, certain time of the day, and disappears.
Yeah, right.
No.
It
That's-
changes with the time of day, absolutely.
Clara just hugged me, and she like headbutted my sternum.
Oh, wow.
I'm like a bruise and my cleavage from her fucking shin.
Jeez.
It was a strong hug.
Pointy chin.
Yeah.
We can retcon it real quick if you want, Kim. Looking at this map,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
which one do you think? Which one do you think looked correct to your recollection of before?
I think it was here.
Oh, sorry about that. Fatherly duties.
Yeah, up here.
So part of the Glimmerwood.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
But yeah, as you were getting up, Nissa was just confessing she's not actually well traveled at all.
Oh,
Sounds
really?
kind of my first time away from home. Which is not actually that far from here.
Really? What about you? Oh, sorry.
About much.
Well, I'm still happy to have you along anyway. Besides, I'm sure that these mysteries will find their resolutions in our paths. What about you, Totem? Whereabouts are you from? Do any of these names ring a bell for you?
Yes, many, many years ago. I came from the land of the Great Peaks and the Portuguese lips. No.
That was the Grey Peaks?
Yeah.
I see.
And also
So you're
part of the, and also the spine of the world too. Kind of like the higher mountains kind of type.
Oh, I found the Forgotten Forest. It was the Forgotten Forest, not Lost Forest. Right here. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
dude.
okay. Cool.
But if the forest is forgotten, how does anybody remember its location?
Only the people that live there know it.
Well, in case you
To
noticed,
everyone else, it's forgotten.
I forgot it was called Forgotten Forest. I
There you
thought
go.
I lost it.
That's the name.
As soon as you step out of it, you forget. You've lost it.
That's right. You're lost forever.
It's lost. Which is also why her favorite terrain is swamp. Next to the marsh.
Ah, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's so you can fight Shrek, right?
How did you know?
Ogres. Yeah, I'm actually from the Wood of the Sharp Teeth, so really not far away at all.
Where is Greenest? Oh,
Greece is all
Way
the way
down
south.
south.
Way
Okay.
south.
I see it.
Yeah,
Okay.
And then this is from in here.
yeah. She's a neighbor. Greenest neighbor.
Well, that's why
maybe this is a mystery that will be resolved another time. Anyway, I appreciate both of your input regarding this matter.
Alright. And I'm assuming you guys would like to now and head west.
I would like to rage.
No.
Can't do that.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
You're not Totem.
you could be in a rage, but it wouldn't help you at all.
Look, I'm going to now cross class one level into Barbarian just so I can
Be
be
a
a
Barbarian.
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 And just
It would be great to see
like
Rose
a careless
Brigade.
whisper on my truck.
I'm so mad, guys. I'm so mad.
Would that make your music metal?
Metal.
Oh yeah.
This trunk just reshapes like a guitar.
Yes.
We're going to play a song called Fields of Verdun.
Oh god. Man, that'd be great. Metalfant. That would make him a metalfant. That's true. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I read that right.
Hell yeah.
I was once in a movie called Tusk Love, but that's a story for another time.
Was it like the romance novel you were reading in the library?
I wasn't reading that. I wasn't reading. I was simply looking at the inside of the book to see if I recognized it as another book of a similar title, is what I was doing.
So he's into
Look, I haven't had any romantic partners through my time, as there's not a lot of Loxodon in this area, and my home, as you know, is gone. So, I guess it's a bit of escapism. I guess it just makes me think of a time when I had a chance to find something, but it's too late now.
Cantos puts a hand on Monarch's arm. Whatever it's called. Arm.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm sorry. I was just teasing.
Yeah, it's fine. I just have a lot on my mind right now. Anyway, we should continue.
Maintain that there's no way that there's not any other Loxodons in the world. Like you can't know for sure that every Loxodon that was ever born was born where you were born, and that none of them ever left.
And how many have you seen along the Sword Coast?
I don't know. I should have been in the woods my whole life. When would I see them?
I've been up and down this area, and I haven't seen any. So,
So maybe you need to go crissy-crossy. You've been up, down, go side to side.
there's not time for that. We have to stop the dragon cult.
Alright, so. Really? From back then,
Yeah.
though?
100%.
You're supposed to be sleeping. You were
She was.
asleep.
She was?
I know.
Now
It's
she's
hard.
yelling at me. Jeez.
You put me down.
Yeah, she does. She'll fall asleep in my arms, and then I'll lay her down in her bed, and then she'll wake up like 20 minutes later.
I remember
Baby hammer.
Oh yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
the rocking chair with Clara worked for like 2 days, and those were the best 2 days of my life for the first 6 months that she was alive.
Who are you talking to?
I just wore the.
It was this all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, we did the Indian blanket. That sounds racist. I'm sorry, but we did a
Waffle.
where you take a stretchy blanket, you just kind of tie it around, and they're just in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just effective.
Oh, that's you. That's you. Got it out? Okay. We ready?
And the baby backpack when they were able
Yeah.
to start standing. We still have that.
Yeah.
Do you?
We have one.
He's a low guy.
I'll probably start using it soon. She was still a little bit too. And we tried it on. So, anyways, you guys depart Greenest early to mid morning and head west. There was previously only a single trail that led south into the country of Am, but since
I thought we were gonna go north.
I thought we were going north up to upper end of Baldur's Gate, and then we were going to go south to Candlekeep.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were heading straight across to Baragost. Or was it
No, I believe we were going north
Up
to
to
Verdusk.
Verdusk.
Oh, Verdusk. Oh, that's why I was confused.
Reasonable.
God damn, it's the same name.
Yeah, they both started with.
Yeah, that was rude, wizards.
Gotcha. Okay, so you head north out of Greenest towards the main road that leads to Baradusk. It's a few days' ride from Greenest, two at most at a good pace. So you've got a lot of daylight ahead of you. The mid-morning is uneventful day, and it's really okay. Hold on. We'll stop in a minute. Hold on. You guys head north, and maybe we should take a break.
Great time.
Take a break. We should take a break.
Okay.
No problem.
Sounds good.
She insists. So
Yeah.
we'll be right back.
Okay.
She's the boss.
She is the boss.
She is? Okay. I'll be back as well.
You doing okay?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that cops won't leave you alone.
I know, guys. It's just right. I could pinpoint. It's like right here. We just find something like this kind of goes down, and
Does humidity seem to help more, or is it heat and dry air?
no, I think the heat that makes it a little worse. That's why the fan on me.
Oh,
It's like
we can open the window. I mean, I'm drinking, so I'm like,
I know I want to.
here,
I
open
don't know
that
if it-
window.
I don't know if it. No, I mean I want to drink.
Oh, yeah, it's probably a bad idea.
But I'm on live on TikTok first time.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. I haven't been live on here for a while.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit.
Let me get something to drink on.
Okay.
You're having fun. You sound like you're having fun. Oh.
Said he's not. I'm not. What's that?
Turkey.
Oh, it's all look way different. Well,
Or
Okay.
pizza.
it look like cranberries from over here.
No way.
Hey guys, everyone that's just joining, we're just taking a quick break. We'll be right back. Playing some D&D tonight, and tonight it is Horde of the Dragon Queen. Bless you. Sneeze.
Alright, ready? Here we go. There. Stupid chair.
For everyone that's joining us, we're doing a quick pause for D&D, but we're going to be starting very soon.
What's the little thing we got? Or oh, I found it.
Hope everyone's having a good
Alright,
night.
everybody good?
And we're going to be starting up here again.
Good.
All
solid.
good.
Sweet. Alright. So, the four of you are heading north. Out of Greenest on a bright sunny morning. It is calm with a light breeze, and the late spring is just a very fine weather to be traveling in. Not a cloud in the sky, birds chirping, the occasional bit of wildlife out and about in the wildlands. Not the wildlands. Wrong game. The rolling field of the greenest area, and it's pretty uneventful otherwise. You guys have a little bit of small talk between the four of you for the first 45 minutes or an hour.
Your back screen.
Green.
Yeah.
What?
Your back screen is still up.
Oh, haha! I did forget to put something. Hold on.
No problem.
My
It
apologies. My apologies.
You guys are all trying to be polite.
There we go.
In chat. And I'm just like, hey.
Yell at me! Just yell at me!
Hey, yeah, fucker.
Alright. So, yeah, you
guys travel for about an hour, pretty uneventfully, and in the distance, as you guys are kind of just talking amongst yourselves, making small talk, you see a lone figure. Looks like they might be traveling the same direction as you, except this individual is on foot. They're not on horseback or any other mount that you can see, and seem to be completely alone. At this distance, it's hard to discern any details at a glance. They're probably 200 or 300 yards ahead of you. After you've crested this hill, you can see them. And as you begin to get a bit closer, you can see, in fact, it is an individual on foot. The figure standing roughly 6 foot in height, average build, short to medium length brown hair. You can't discern much from just from the backside of him. But as you guys are coming up behind this individual, they turn their head a bit as they can hear the clopping of the horses, as it's pretty noticeable on the road. Doesn't say anything and just continues to keep walking. And as you get a bit closer still, you can hear that they're humming a tune. Something like, "Really? I'm telling the story. It's my turn. My turn." And they're humming a jaunty tune. But they don't say anything to you. They don't happen to greet you. You're now probably within 10 feet of this individual.
Side check.
Okay, what do you want to discern?
I want to discern if this guy is a serial killer. The jaunty little tune. That's what I want to discern. Yeah, you roll that insight check. I will. For serial killers. Okay, that is going to be a total of 16.
Seems like a pretty normal individual.
Serial
Playing
killer.
a pretty normal tune. Yeah.
So, Nick is going to shoot him. Ronick, however, is going to just continue walking along, watching not in a wary sort of sense, but just in that polite sort of way as he passed somebody looking over to give a polite nod of the head.
Okay.
Yeah, Nissa from horseback.
So as you guys start to come up alongside the individual and then now past them. Where is it? Where did I put it? You see a well-armed individual. Who, as you're walking past, you can see the fine clothes, a sword hanging at their belt. They have a breastplate underneath a dark blue coat.
Did you click the image and hit Control Z? It'll display it first and foremost for all of us.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I was watching the stream.
Yeah. And you can see as he's walking, he starts to spark lightning at his fingertips. And this is what they look like.
Seems like a cuck to me.
The individual gives you a slight nod, a smile on his face as the four of you pass. Continuing to sing the tune, or hum the tune, excuse me.
Not to be outdone, as she notices a little lightning, Nissa kind of like does a little wave, and as she does that, she doesn't produce flame, so a little bit of flame like dances at her fingertips.
Oh, I see. You know some math.
We're gonna do this? Okay, we're gonna do this.
It was a little wave. He's showing off his magic.
Sorry about that, guys.
Ronick, what are you trying to do there, buddy?
Okay, one second, let
Hurl
me
it at
look
him.
this up. So, the Ronick not to be outdone by this person that we're just walking by. Like, not, okay, joking aside, it's, you know, he kind of like looks over and sees that Nis is doing something. So, oh, I see. So we're displaying our magic for one another. All right. And so he's going to, with a quick little gesture, a flick of the hand, a whispered word, the symbols upon his trunk change, and he'll start playing a song. I'll make sure to keep this short for the purpose of the stream and not getting silenced, but hopefully that's catching on for you guys.
It's not.
No. Well, if it's for the stream, that's good enough. He just starts blaring Careless Whisper. Discord isn't picking that up. Because it used to, right?
It did the first time you did it, yeah.
Super
Yeah.
weird.
Okay, hold on, guys.
I just have the drool action.
Drool action title.
Ew.
Yeah, I don't know. Something's up with Discord, man. Like, it's been really weird.
Like I'm shit.
Yeah. I don't know if they're being greedy and making me, like, need to boost the server a million times or what, but
You'll just have to mouth horn it every time.
don't think that I can't, okay? I can mouth horn with the best of them. I will give you mouth horn over my mouth horn, okay? Oh, don't even act surprised. You guys know.
It worked for a second. Yeah. Alright, and so, as blasting his music and this is producing flame,
Is that acceptable, my friend? He kind of like glances back at the other fellow.
so, you won't do magic then, do you?
I think Totem wants to do some magic.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Totem sees all this stuff going on and stuff, and he's sitting there just writing and everything, and he's like right behind that guy, and then Totem just like kicks him. Like, you're in my way.
Roll to attack.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Make an attack roll.
Okay. I'm not scared. Oh, sure, where's he? Oh, there it is.
Would that just be an unarmed strike?
Yeah, it would just be an unarmed strike. You're not using a weapon, you're just using your foot.
What if he's not kicking him with his foot?
I mean, it's still an unarmed strike. Just because he calls it club doesn't mean it is a club.
Does it do piercing damage?
No. So,
Excuse me.
you attempt to kick him in the back of the leg and quickly and easily sidesteps you without even... Which way are you going? You almost stepped on the back of my leg. Unless the four of you are trying to rob me, then we're going to have an issue, I think.
No.
And if that's the case, then please state your business.
Well,
Do you have anything with stealing?
Wait,
Huh?
you're seriously going to rob me?
we
Truly?
Is that why you started doing your little sparklies on your fingers? You thought you were going to rob you?
I mean, a gentleman out on the road alone, I'd like to indicate my capabilities to passing travelers to deter them from such things. Yes, you could call it a deterrent to that.
I see.
I don't know you, that's for certain.
Well, I assure you, this is just a misunderstanding. We're just traveling as well. We're not robbers.
Well, your friend is very clumsy. He turns around and actually looks at you now, Totem. I'd appreciate it if you didn't continue to stay back there, just in case.
It's very hard to control this thing.
I can only imagine.
No, trust me, you can't imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah, right, I cannot.
Don't ask questions which you don't want to know the answers, trust me.
Well, at least I'm not alone on the road anymore. Where are my manners? I apologize. Name is Bartholomew, if you please.
Ronick, my friend, a pleasure. And he gives a tip of his hat once more.
Ronick.
Cathios.
Cathios.
Nissa.
Nissa. And you, my big fellow, do you have a name?
Ah, yes. They call me Totem.
Totem. Interesting name. Seems, very northern, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah,
I know I'm
yes.
Goliath after all, but I don't want to make us.
Ah, yes. Do you know a lot about Goliaths?
I can't say I know a lot about them, but I've met a day. Good folk, most of them.
Ah,
Very calm-tempered, for the most part as well. The size often is, people are often afraid of them for that reason alone, I think. They're usually very cool-tempered.
ah, yes. Part of my family.
I see. Well, it's good to meet you. Well, what brings you out here?
Come out here and just slay things. Whatever is in our path.
Slay things.
Not everything, Totem.
Oh,
Some
besides,
certain things, then.
yes, besides you.
Oh, and I thought this wasn't a robbery. Am I still mistaken? I apologize if there's confusion.
No.
I mean, if we were going to rob you, we probably wouldn't, like, confess.
Not necessarily. Could be playing the long. It's very popular in the big cities.
I can assure you that robbing people along a highway is not something that a group of adventurers is wont to do. Look at us. Do we seem like the sort of brigands who would go and try to commit a bit of petty theft along the roads?
No, I apologize. I only just make life a situation.
All is forgiven, my friend. So, might I ask the same, Bartholomew? What brings you on the road up north? After all, Burdusk isn't exactly one of the most sought-after towns along here on the Sword Coast.
No, most of these are more after. So, Green is just quite nice this time. My business, ultimately, is to get back to my lady. That fiery beast. Excuse me. Just accomplishing a variety of tasks for her. I make my way back.
Insight check.
I feel like we just learned something about you that we didn't ask to know.
What, insight? Yes, Rob.
He mentioned, oh, that is not great. That is a 9 total, but Ronick wants to discern. She's a fiery lady, and I discern that to mean dragon, but Ronick know that.
No, Ronick doesn't know that. Now, as I said, I'm just simple tasks before I eventually head back to Camp Keep.
Oh, we were thinking about going there after we go to Baldur's Gate.
Oh, to Baldur's Gate, is it? What, why are you going to Baldur's Gate, if I might ask? I mean, some of these outlying little towns, the people of the city would call them backwater, but they're really not. They're just quaint, if anything. But Baldur's Gate, that's a rough bunch there. You don't look like the rough bunch type. Pardon my assumptions.
For business, not for pleasure.
Of course, it's usually not. Well, that's not true. You can find anything you want in Baldur's Gate. That aside, of this, craziness going on in the, I suggest you be wary.
We can handle ourselves.
Well, I should hope so. You, at the very least, look like you can. Though, with, the city's preoccupied, the highway patrols are not as common, and, I hear the highwaymen are a bit more prominent these days in recent weeks than they normally are. Just a pleasant forewarning.
Oh, thank you for the warning. I've dealt with a few highwaymen.
Oh, truly. They're scum, if you ask me. Oh, I hate them. Truly, get any other job. You don't have to go robbing people on the roadside. That's utterly despicable.
It is despicable going after easy marks.
It's true. It's true. But at least it's a nice day. Did I know? Well, I assume you're going at least through the dusk if you're heading to Baldur's Gate, if I'm not mistaken. Unless you know the secret path that will get me there quicker. He kind of raises an eyebrow at you.
No, I was just about to ask the same thing.
Ah, unfortunate business then. Well, I mean, the four of you are well equipped. He thinks for a moment. I heard, here a few days ago, a group of four adventurers that, helped liberate Greenest. And there are four of you here. I'm assuming, if I'm wrong, correct
The
me.
legends themselves in the flesh.
Oh, truly. I had my suspicions when I saw the but, that's good news. I am in the presence of heroes then.
Back on the uptake, I see.
It's part of my job to be well informed.
And what might that be?
Well, I don't actually have an official job. I'm more of an errand boy more than anything, but a lot of my work requires me to be just that, as I said, well informed.
I see.
So you were in Greenest? Around the same
I
time
passed-
you were?
I did. I passed through just yesterday.
Did you happen
Can I-
to... So, did you happen to visit any library before you were there?
I can't say that I have.
Insight check.
Make me
Is he lying?
Is he lying?
I want to know too.
Yeah.
You're not
Oh.
entirely sure.
10.
22.
Ah. You get the feeling, Cathio, the way he said it a little bit too quickly, probably not true.
Oh shit. So Cathios gets like a slight look, hoping that Ronick notices that she thinks he's lying.
I have a passive perception of 11, so that's probably not coming through. Yeah.
Ronick just thinks Cathios has something in her eye. Like,
Well, no,
Yeah,
it's
she's got the bad
Ronick's thinking himself in this moment. Like, is this the person? Like, he's not convinced that it is. He doesn't know, but he's thinking about it, and he's kind of drawn up in that.
I don't blame you about skipping the library. While they were there, actually, Totem and I had our own activities. And then she just kind of like, she just kind of mimes, like, smoking weed.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I got some laughs. Do you want some?
Oh, no, unfortunately, for the tasks I perform, I need to be sober. But I appreciate the offer.
This is just like shred.
Cathios, what do you want to do with, the information? If anything.
So Cathios is gonna pry a little more. Like, well, I would think somebody who runs errands would definitely have been in a library at least at one point.
Are you making any certain expressions with your face, or is this just really casual? How are you doing this?
Okay, so it's a little, yeah, she's got a slight expression, like serious, but poker face, and just kind of being a little sarcastic.
Okay, I did frequent the library. I confess, I apologize for that was very uncouth of me.
Ronick straightens a bit at this.
I
See.
Why are you curious? I do like libraries, yes, and I like to be well read, and you're correct. Libraries are a great source of information. People often forget how much knowledge contained and often forgotten inside of libraries.
You know, the funny thing about a library is that it's such a quiet area. One must be careful not to make a sound when they're in the library.
It's true.
One wouldn't want to draw any attention to themselves if they were to be walking through there, after all.
I think I understand your implications.
Well then, and Ronick is just going to stop and just half turn towards this guy at this moment. Where does that leave us?
That leaves me with my business and you with yours. That you two were in the library when I was there yesterday. Is that what that is? Is that why you recognized me on the road? Is that something you know that I need to know?
He glances to Kathios.
Yeah, those glancing back. So it was you then. What were you
It
doing?
would seem so.
What were you investigating or reading?
Geographical history.
Any particular reason?
Reasons, unfortunately, I am not. I was only told to peruse the libraries for any information, certain geographical regions of specific areas. For what, I am uncertain. I documented my notes, and I have them on me. Beyond that,
Inside check.
Okay.
Is he lying? One second. Hey, I need you to do good for me, okay?
do
Can
good.
I
You
assist
haven't
with
been
that?
very nice.
Yeah, you can assist.
Okay.
Advantage, or you can do your own roll. Either or.
That is going to be a 17.
With a 17, he doesn't seem to be lying. Pretty straight and coming with his information, but also seems like he doesn't want to. Hey, it's my story. It's my story. My story.
I rather like the flair that she put on it. Like, it's kind of like, you know, like, the emotions were there, like, the tension was there, but, like, she really brought it out.
She did. Making him come to life.
Oh my gosh, you guys, guess what?
What?
All of the cast of KnitQuest is here now.
Hey.
Yay!
Now I just need to make KnitQuest 2 where, like, you can, like, have Kim and Joe added to the party.
Right.
Yes!
Okay.
I will die
So-
happy.
Yes. He was very straight and forthcoming with his answer. It seems he was telling the truth, but it also seems like that's all he's willing to say about the matter. As he kind of easily rests his arm across his blade in a very casual manner.
Ronick knows a flex when he sees it. After all, traveling through the north hasn't been an easy task by any means, but he's going to give him a level stare for a moment and ask, You seem a rather straightforward fellow, so I'll do you the courtesy of the same.
Much appreciated.
Your employer, was it anybody associated to the Dragon Cult?
No, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, after I heard about who you were on the same side.
Insight check?
Insight. Assisting insight check.
Oh, assisting, thank God.
Yes.
Hey, get your shit together. Much better, much better. That will be a 23.
Nice.
That's the most honest and serious you've heard.
Ronick relaxes slightly and says, well, if we're on the same side in this great river of events that is enveloping this area, then I'm glad to count any allies that I can.
Me as well. Things considered, dear. I'm glad to be in good company.
How far north is your journey taking you again?
Well, I have to go through Badask and through Scornable. From there, scouring the libraries. Eventually, within the next couple of weeks, I'll have to make back to Kamiki. As quickly as possible.
We're heading northward towards Scornable. Then we intend to veer west towards Baldur's Gate and then circle back to Candlekeep. Ronick looks to the others. Would anybody have any objections to maybe joining up with Bartholomew? After all, it appears that our journeys are going to veer us in the same direction. Why not travel together? There's safety in numbers after all.
I have no objections, and I appreciate the honesty.
Of course, I always try to be as honest as I can, but with sensitive matters, I must keep that to myself. I don't understand.
Understood.
What about you, Totem?
Yes, I guess I like sparkles.
Like sparkles.
Yeah, that little thing you just do with your hands.
Oh, magic. Yes. Oh, okay. And he lifts his hand and shoots a couple little bolts of lightning through each finger and moves his fingers around a bit. Yes, well, your friends have magic too. I'm sure you're no stranger to it, but do you just have an affinity for lightning?
This kind of like it a little bit, but not too much.
Okay. All right. Well, glad to have you all along. Well, I suppose, given the numbers, I'm joining up with you for a short while. It's been rather dull being by myself. It's good to have some company.
Nissa has the best stories.
Who has the best stories?
Nissa.
Intriguing. Oh, Nissa.
Nice.
Nissa has
That she does.
Well, let's hear one of those stories. I'm intrigued. I haven't had a good story in a while.
Okay, well, so like last year at the music festival in my home, we all got together and I hadn't seen like my peers for a while because the elders kind of keep me to myself and themselves. But so I finally get to see all of my like people my age again, and we just kind of enraged all weekend, totally partying. We had some glimmer root, we had some hobbit mead. We really just went all out, and the music was so awesome. I was showing off some of my tricks and doing some fire dancing, and everyone was like, Nissa, Nissa. And she just kind of rambles on about like last year's festival. Yeah, just describes it's basically Coachella.
might have to visit one of these days. Where is your home exactly?
Oh, just in the wood of the sharp teeth, just over here to the west.
Oh, not far at all. I haven't had the pleasure of
It can be kind of treacherous. Like, you don't want to just kind of wander in there. You want to have an inn, for sure.
I see. Well, I suppose if I remain on good terms, you could be my inn, so to speak.
Totally.
Fantastic.
I've already said I'll get these guys in, but, like, all of you, I mean, it's a tribe of gnomes, so you have to be kind of, like, careful. Don't step on us or trip over us.
No, of
They're
course
all
not.
very tall.
Gnomes are good people, at least in my experience. And I always like a good gathering of people. Nice when people can just relax and enjoy life. Not have to worry about the stresses of, well, other more nefarious things go.
Can we assume that we've been walking while,
Yes,
Okay.
you've been walking this whole time.
okay.
A good another 30 minutes have passed, especially with Niss's story, maybe closer to an hour.
I thought this was DBZ time and it had only been like 5 minutes.
I mean, we can switch and say 5 minutes.
I
No.
thought it was Hunter x Hunter time.
Oh, jeez.
Hunter and are gonna spin 2 seconds.
Oh.
For it, as he looked over, the others also glanced in that same direction.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Little do you know, the planet will explode in 30 minutes.
A whole year passes.
Oh, here, wow.
At some point after she finishes her story, do you guys mind if we stop for a little bio break?
Oh, absolutely. That's probably a good idea.
That is definitely a great idea.
No quarrels here.
Catheos, do you wanna come with me? Like, watch my back and I'll watch yours.
Absolutely. Let's go.
We'll just go off into the woods, and as soon as we're out of earshot from everyone else, she's gonna be like, so, I know you've made a new friend, and he seems really cool, but, how are we supposed to hide our dragons this whole time while we
Oh, yes.
travel with him?
I was just questioning the same thing. As she takes Kill out and starts changing the diaper as fast as she can. And feeding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nissa takes Reggie out of his hiding spot, and she takes like the dried meats and stuff out of her rations that she's not gonna eat and feeds it to him. And then lets him go potty outside.
Alright, so the two of you are taking care of your dragon.
And doing quick bio break too.
Quick
Yeah.
bio break.
Got behind the tree.
Bartholomew looks to the...
Do we
Oh, no,
just
go
like show him? Do we just tell him? Do we like? I don't know what to do. How do we navigate this?
Well, I think we should get to know this person a little bit more so we trust him seeing our dragons. I'm pretty sure the guys will also be on the same
Know the
page.
name?
Yeah. Wait, the Rocky Talkie.
Oh yeah, I have one. Who has the other one?
I have it.
You guys... I was gonna say you both have it.
Pulls it out like, damn it.
Alright.
The best laid plans go to shit. The
That's
worst
true.
laid plans never come to fruition.
That's true.
Well, since we can communicate through our minds, what I can do is I can slip this to Ronick, and he'll know what to do. I'm sure he will.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Okay.
you can talk to him.
Give me like a signal, like a thumbs up or like a bird call. I don't know.
I'll wait.
Okay.
and yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna give Nissa a little more
Gather up the
privacy.
dragons and
Yeah.
give him some scritches.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I have to hide you like this, Reggie. It's really not my choice.
Sometimes Buckhill back along the side inside her cowl. Got a little sling under there.
So Cathios comes back at a kind of a brisk pace, and she, Ronick, Bartholomew, and Totem, as they're standing there waiting for the ladies.
Ronick, thank you, Ronick. Come here. She turns, something. She's got a complete view of Bartholomew. Just on there. You've got something on your trunk. And,
Bartholomew's kind of looking.
and quickly sneaks up the rocky
Oh,
path.
I don't. What are you?
You have this on your trunk, Ronick. And
Oh, I see. Grasps that with its trunk.
And then she winks at Ronick. Like, I got you. And walks
And he-
back over.
That's some keen eyesight to have been able to see it from that far away. Good eye, Cathios.
Yes, which is why you ended up on my radar when you were so quiet in the library.
I have to remember that. I was trying to be sneaky after all.
You were
Well,
quite
Nate
sneaky.
was called, if you'll excuse us. And he's gonna just kind of like bump against Totem a little bit, like on his way out, like with his shoulder.
Yeah, what's that for?
Oh, sorry, I was just trying to get by. There's a nice spot over there with some bushes. You know, I've got to, nature.
I'm not gonna wipe your ass for you.
I didn't. I wasn't asking you to wipe my ass. I'm just saying that I was going to a place with more privacy.
Oh, okay. Well, you have a good time over there.
Are you good? This might be one of the last stops that we get for the day.
Catfields folks told him, yeah, you should go while you can.
Why is everyone pushing me?
Is your bladder as massive as your... Never mind.
Oh,
Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions to which you don't want to know the answers. I'll go.
yes, I'll go with you.
Behind some bushes, and he pulls out the stone. I have a sending stone. I think one of them wanted to talk to us. And he holds it up. Nissa. Nissa, is that you? You can respond to this message.
What do we do about the dragons now that Barty is traveling with us?
Oh.
Perfect.
Perfection!
Oh.
Cassio said you'd know what to do.
We need to learn more about him. If we can discern how much of an ally he is, it'll be fine. Exactly 25 right there.
Nice.
But
Okay. How do we do that?
alcohol.
Oh,
I don't have any, but I have weed, and he didn't want it.
And we sneak electric lettuce into it.
Wow!
oh wow.
Alright.
That is unethical.
don't know.
Wow.
I'm freaking out. I'm just spitballing ideas. Do you have anything better? You can respond to this message.
I think we should just tell him the truth. He was honest with us. We owe him the same.
You're right. Let's go and talk to him. At worst, we all have each other. Right?
Right.
Well, Totem.
My rock didn't work.
It's all right. That rock was the real magic that allowed mine to work.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm happy it
Thanks,
worked.
Totem.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Thanks
But-
to you. Appreciate it, my friend.
But I think we have a bag of holdings we could put our dragons in, maybe?
That's a very dangerous idea. They would probably all die in there.
Oh.
There's no airflow. They wouldn't be able to breathe for more than a few minutes.
Oh.
I think we're going to just tell this guy and see how it plays out, but I'm going to keep an eye on things. And I'm also relying on you, Toto. If this guy tries to betray us, you and I, we need to look out for these dragons, alright?
I like your idea.
Just like we all have each other's backs. We need to look out for the children as well.
Alright. I like this plan.
Well, I suppose no time like the present then.
Alright, so with that settled, the four of you kind of uncannily join back together all sort of at the same time. And Bartholomew looks over to where Ronick and Totem were coming from. Did you actually have to wipe his ass? Or did he manage that himself?
No, he's fine. Look, there's something that we need to tell you.
Okay.
Ronick pulls his hat off.
Cathiel seeing that also reveals Takio.
So we kind of stole some eggs. I know we said we weren't robbers, and that's kind of funny now that I'm confessing we stole something, but we stole it from bad guys.
The dragon colt.
We thought it might be better. At first, okay, honestly, at first I was like, let's just scramble these bitches. But
I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah, exactly. They were right about to hatch, so we were like, well, maybe they will bond with us, and then the dragon cold can't get them. But we also, it's a lot. So we just wanted to be upfront. You came clean eventually about the library thing. So here we are coming clean eventually about the dragon thing.
He has this really narrow gaze as he looks at each of you several times, pulling the dragons.
This is Reginald Tyrell Cobham. But I call him Reggie.
They seem rather tame.
Trust me.
Ryu wouldn't hurt a fly. He's a very good boy. Oh, aren't you? Yes, you are.
They're just babies, actually. Tickles Takio a bit.
And they can be raised to not be threats. Dragons are very intelligent creatures. It's the concept of nurture over nature.
Interesting.
Yes. And look what mine can do. Fly, little rage. Fly!
Can Cathios catch Little Rage?
Dexterity.
Okay. Is it save? Dexterity save or just dexterity?
Just a dexterity roll.
Would that be? Okay, where?
It's not a save, because you're not trying to dodge, like, a fireball or
Would
anything.
that be acrobatics?
It could be
You can
acrobatics.
roll, like,
You could roll
yeah.
acrobatics. That would be fine.
14.
You barely catch this dragon as it just plummets from like 6.5 feet straight to the ground. You only barely caught it because you had talked about it earlier with Totem, and when you saw the dragon, you just had a feeling, just had a feeling that he might do something like this, so you were sort of prepared as you barely catch this thing inches from the ground.
Totem, no.
It's okay. Little Rage is tired.
A baby.
Anyway, so,
Holding
Bartholomew.
range.
I confess, I want to be angry with you. In fact, I
They're so cute.
However, I know next to nothing about dragons. And I'm assuming you have some sort of inside knowledge or expertise that helped bring you to this decision of nurture over nature instead of slaying the beasts outright.
No.
So you're taking a risk.
Have you ever had a moment where you knew that what you were doing was just crazy, but you just followed your gut?
He smiles just a little bit. Actually, yes.
Can I be honest with you?
Would hope so. Honesty seems to be the theme of the moment.
That it does. That's why we want to go to Candlekeep. I figure the greatest library in the world. If there's any place that may have documents pertaining to the raising of dragons, it's there. If we can stop by Baldur's Gate first, maybe in our journeys getting there, we can get a writ of passage, some means to get into Candlekeep. The more that we can learn about these creatures, the more that we can nurture them and turn them into a force for good.
I can say this much, you've certainly... And knowing that you need a writ of passage into Candlekeep isn't common knowledge. Most people just get turned away at the gate without explanation. So... Okay, however, I will absolutely warn you against taking those creatures, those dragons, to Candlekeep. You cannot take them there. You will be searched on entry, and they will be taken and killed. You'll need to find a safe place for them. And I'd be wary about any other place that you travel. I don't know about infant dragons, but if this is your plan, you need to be incredibly...
If we're to go to Candlekeep with these children, they will stay with us and we will be responsible for whatever they do, and anything that we may need, if we need to make concessions to what we want to know. I've made my peace with that.
Try to open it. Can you help me open
This
the rest?
child is the same as any other child. I'll find a way to help them realize their potential. And I won't tolerate any who stand in the way of that. Just as he looks to the others for a moment. I'll do anything that it takes for the people around me. Family is what's important.
I understand. Your heart's in the right place, and I absolutely respect that. And if it is possible to raise these dragons, these children as you call them, to be anything other than what they've been written about in the past. Destructive creatures of malice and evil. Well, that's a step in the right direction. But give me some time. I'm going to... I make no promises, but you're going to Candlekeep. I can't say anything yet. A couple of weeks. Don't come to Candlekeep. I need time to devise a way to do something about your children upon entry, or do something about putting them in a safe place before entry.
What ties have you to Candlekeep?
I cannot say. Truly, I cannot say. I took an oath.
I trust you. He looks at the others. What say the rest of you? You have as much into this as I do.
I trust you. I trust you as well. Thank you for the warning about Candlekeep.
Yeah, good looking out.
Of course. If we can, as I said, raise these dragons to be anything than what they were before, that's monumental. That's beyond comprehension, to be honest. And if it's something you can accomplish, then I will. In whatever capacity that I can.
And you're gonna be in the libraries anyway. Do you want to maybe like look and see if there's some books about dragon luring or training?
I remember there were some books written long ago. How to Train Your Dragon. I believe there was also a very comprehensive illusory spell that was How to Train Your Dragon in 3D.
Wow.
There were little puppets and everything.
What is 3D? Is that an acronym?
Honestly, I'm not sure. The person who created this, the series of illusory spells, he was a major in theater that unfortunately went mad in his late 20s and ended up running away from most of civilization. But rumor has it that these images that flashed in your mind as you watched it made you feel immersed in a way that most plays cannot quite.
That's honestly quite fascinating. Never heard of such a thing.
Me neither until I had come up and to the Sword Coast.
Interesting. Well, despite that, you're all truly on a very, very dangerous, taking on the cult of the dragon. That's one thing. Warding their dragons? I'll get on back, I think. Well, unless they don't know that you took them. Did you go unnoticed?
I believe we did.
I mean, anyone that noticed us isn't around to tell anybody that they noticed us anymore.
I see.
We killed them.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
getting at.
surmised. But, well, I think that's all the incredible news I can take for the day. Kind of, pulls a hand through his hair and not a crazy, I think. I like that. My lady is going to have a lot of interesting things to say.
Well, now that it's all out in the open, maybe we should get back on the road.
Oh, yes. I'm standing around here. Yes. It does. It's not quite as nice as Greenest, but should have lodgings we need. I think.
Let us make our way there then.
Very good.
Runic or Totem, can one of you give me a boost step onto my horse?
Alright, come here. He's trying to wrap around this and lift her up.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've only got 2 horses. I think... Listen, you're not very large. I have an idea. And he snaps his finger, and this massive black horse just materializes out of thin air. Right in front of you. Rears up and
Back.
whinnies, and it has this mane of like red and yellow that looks like it's a fire at first, but it's not.
Is it Winnie the Nightmare?
Winnie the Nightmare?
Instead of Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, no.
No? Okay.
But it does give you that impression at first. A nightmare horse. But, yeah. This is... Well, I've never actually given the creature a name. However, I can vary it in size, and I've accommodated it to sit your stature. You're free to ride a mount. Does.
I appreciate that, and Ronick goes ahead and, with a considerable and almost embarrassing level of struggle, is able to climb atop the...
Not at all. The horse actually gets down to ground level and
No.
sits.
No, even still, he's like, trying to figure out where to put his legs, like, one second, everyone.
The stirrup on the...
Yeah, I think it's over.
You grab the horn and you
Where am I? This part?
pull on in the center of the saddle. There's a
Where?
horn.
The saddle, okay.
Yeah, there's a horn right there. See
No,
it?
I
It's
think
there.
that's the, grabbing its mane. Is that the right part?
That's fine. Pull all your weight. You're not
That
gonna
feels
be-
really mean. I don't think I should do that.
It's not live. It's made of magic.
That's still mean.
Maybe Totem can help.
Yes, Totem.
Oh no, we're about to have a ghost fight. Reaches back to Ronick.
It's just hitting the back of Ronick's leg as he comes down.
It's like I have 3 legs. I know.
Okay, so with some difficulty and maybe a little Totem, maybe not, you eventually get up on the horse, and it comes to stand at full height, and Ronick, you've never been up this high off the ground on anything before that I'm aware of.
Is this what it's like?
I suppose, is that what it looks like? Riding a horse?
Adjusts in the saddle? Yes, I've never ridden anything, no mount, no beast before.
Oh, I can imagine not. But, as I said, it accommodates quite nicely.
Use your hips.
That it does. What?
Use your hips as the horse moves. Like, you ever see a chicken? How its head stays still and the body moves? Use the lower half to move with the horse, keeping the upper half up. Still.
Alright, I'll try that.
It merely takes some adjusting.
You'll get it,
Worry
Ronick.
about it so much. Yes. After a while, your body will just move with the motion of a horse, and you'll eventually get it. I think.
I think you should name the horse. I
So,
suggest we name her Lady Matilda Darlington.
Nightmare.
Matilda will do nicely, I think. That's quite a nice name. It's not fond of the overly long names. It's a common theme in and it gets rather tiresome, if I do admit.
well, you just come up with a nickname. Like, Reggie here is actually Reginald Tyrell Cobham, but, like, I just call him Reggie. And so you could have Lady Matilda Darlington and just call her Tilly.
Tilly? Oh, actually, I like that. Tilly is quite nice. Yes, okay, Tilly. It's settled
Wait,
then.
I'm erasing my notes. God damn it.
Scribbling in his book on top of the horse.
You guys are talking too quickly. I just wanted to write a name. Continue.
Ronick, we're not even naming yet. Why are you scribbling so faintly?
I don't know. I'm nervous, all right. I'm on top of the horse.
I understand. I apologize.
This is almost as scary as that time that I found that satanic creature of nightmare near me.
That was me!
You just see, like, he does, like, the anime shock thing, but it's like his truck.
You knew that was me. I transformed right in front of you.
I missed it. It was really scary.
This is crazy.
I'm missing the context of this, but
Oh, I scared him once when I turned into a weasel. It's no big deal.
Yeah, you know what? A Loxodon never forgets.
nightmare creature is a weasel.
It was actually me, but I was a weasel.
She was super cute.
Yes, I was going to say, weasels are not... But again, everyone to each their own. Well, we're going to ride the rest of the way. I haven't been this way that often, but figured the dusk is probably a few hours yet. How about I regale you all a story this time?
Please.
I'm amenable to such an offer.
Right, so... he, settles in and kind of thinks, what's appropriate for the occasion? Oh, yes. Ronick, you might fancy this one. There is an inn that you cannot find on your own. You must stumble across it on a misty street late at night, lost and uncertain in a street. The door has a wheel on it, but the sign bears no name. You find the place and wander inside, and you'll meet a man behind the bar. He has no name. He cannot tell it to you, it's been taken from him. But he'll know you, as he knows everyone who enters the inn. He'll listen to everything you will want to add. You will want to talk to him. And if you ask him for a story, he'll show you, like he shared with me. And I will now share it with you. The story is a meaningless one. You must not search for a moral. It's not that kind of story, you see. It's the other kind of story. The story is called The Dog and the Dragon. The dragon was a brilliant pearlescent color, silver, running along the contours of its body. One day, the dog saw this dragon flying. The dog marveled, as one might expect. He had never seen anything so majestic. The dragon soared in the sky, shimmering iridescent colors in its sunlight. And when it curved around and passed above the dog, it called out a mighty challenge, demanding in the human tongue that all acknowledge its beauty. The dog watched from atop a hill. Now, he wasn't particularly large, even for a dog. He was white with brown spots and floppy ears, not of any specific breed or age, and small enough that other dogs even often mocked him. He was a common variety, a common species of a common animal that most people would rightfully ignore. But when this dog stared at the dragon and heard the beast, he came to a realization. Today, he had encountered something he'd always wished for, but never known. Today, he had seen perfection, and he had been presented with a goal. from today, nothing else mattered. He was going to become the dog sat upon that hilltop through an entire night and day, staring, thinking, dreaming. Finally, he returned to the farm where he lived, among the others of his kind. His farm dogs had all chasing livestock, guarding the perimeter, but he, as the smallest, was seldom given any duty. Perhaps to another this would be liberating. To him, it had always been humiliating. As any problem to overcome, a set of smaller problems to overcome in a sequence, he divided his goal of becoming a dragon into 3 steps. First, he would find a way to have colorful scales like the dragon. Second, he would learn to speak the language of men like the dragon. And third, he would learn to fly like the dragon. He chose scales first. He wanted to begin his transformation with an early victory. He knew the farmer owned many seeds in a variety of colors. They were the shapes of little scales. Because he was not a thief, the dog did not take these, but he asked the other animals where the farmer obtained the new ones. Turns out the farmer would take many seeds by putting them in the ground, waiting for the plants to grow, and then taking more seeds from the stalks. So the dog borrowed seeds and did the same, accompanying the farmer's eldest son on his daily work. As the youth worked, the dog moved alongside him, digging holes with his paws and planting them carefully. Farmer's eldest son found the dog's actions quite amusing. Then, incredible as the dog went about each day, gripping a watering can in his teeth, the little dog watered each seed, just as the farmer did. After replacing what he had borrowed from it, the dog got himself wet and rolled in the seeds, sticking them. Do you admire my wonderful new scales? He asked his fellow animals. Do I not look like a dragon? They turned and laughed at him. Those are not scales. You look stupid and silly. Go back to being a dog. The dog slumped away, feeling foolish and hurt. The dog, however, was not daunted. Surely he could speak with the grand voice of a dragon. They would see, and they would all see. And so the dog spent his free time watching the children. The middle daughter, who helped with the animals, and the toddler, who was too young to help, but was learning to speak, they were all working in the yard. The farmer's wife, who was taller than the farmer, the youth, a lanky and a studious, a daughter who would someday share her life, and a baby who toddled around the yard, tended by them all as they did their chores. Anyway, the dog figured the best way to learn the language was to study their youngest child. And so the dog played with the baby, stayed with him, and listened as he began to form words. The dog played with the doctor too, helped her with the opera, and soon found that he could understand her. But he couldn't form words, so he tried so hard to speak as they did, but his mouth could not make that kind of speech. Eventually, while watching the tall, curious doctor, he noticed she would make words of humans on paper. The dog was overjoyed by this. He learned to speak without having human tongue. He failed many times, but eventually learned to scratch letters in the dirt. The farmer and his family thought this was an amazing trick. The dog was sure he had found a way to prove he was becoming a dragon. They, however, could not read the words. When the dog explained what writing was, they laughed. This is not loud and majestic voice of the dragon, the dog said. This is speaking so quietly no one could ever hear it. You look silly and stupid. Go back to being a dog. He left the dog to stare at his writing as rain began to fall, pushing the words away. He realized they were correct. He had failed to speak with the proud and powerful voice of the dragon. But there was still hope. If he could just fly, he could achieve this feat. The dogs would acknowledge his transformation. The task seemed even harder than the previous two. However, the dogs seen a curious device in the barn. The farmer would tie bales of hay with a rope and raise and lower them with a pulley into He found that the pulley could be balanced with on the other side, which made the bales of hay lower slowly. The dog took his leash and tied it around to make a harness, and like the ones that wrapped on the hay, and he tied it to the sack slightly higher than the ones on the rope, creating a weight to balance him. After using his mouth to tie the rope to the harness, he climbed to the top of the barn's loft and called for the dogs to come in. When they arrived, he leapt gracefully off the loft. It worked. The dog lowered down slowly, striking a magnificent pose in the air. He was flying. He soared like the dragon had. He felt the air around him, and he knew the sensation of being up high. When he landed, he felt so proud and so free. The other dogs just laughed, the loudest they had ever had. That is not flying like a dragon. You fell slowly. You looked so stupid and silly. Go back to being a dog. This at long last crushed the dog's hopes. He realized the truth. A dog like him simply could not become a dragon. He was too small, too quiet, and too silly. What was that? The dog looked up, confused. He heard noises. Sudden shouting, yells of panic. The dog raced out of the barn to find the farmer and his family huddled around the well, which was barely wide enough for them. The dog put his paws up on the edge of the well and looked down. Far below, in the deep darkness of the hole, he heard crying and splashing. A pitiful, gurgling cry that was barely audible over the splashing. The littlest child of the farmer and his wife had fallen into the well and was drowning. The family screamed and wept. There was nothing to be done. What's that? In a flash, the dog knew what to do. He bit the bucket off the well's rope and then had the eldest son tie the rope to his harness. He wrote, "Lower me," in the dirt, then grabbed. It hopped up onto the rim of the well and finally threw him out as the farmer grabbed the crank. Lowered down on the rope, the dog flew into the darkness. He found the baby all the way underwater, but shoved his snout in and took hold of the baby's clothing with his teeth. And a short time later, when the family had pulled him back up, the dog appeared holding the littlest child, wet, crying, but very much alive. That night, it rained on the other dogs, who slept outside in the cold barn, which leaked. But the little dog snuggled up into a warm bed beside the fire, hugged by the farmer's children, his belly full, and as he did, the dog sadly thought to himself, "I could not become a dragon. I am an utter and complete failure." The end.
That was a ride.
Sorry.
Not the happiest story.
And yet it is.
But
It's
he was still sad.
It's sad because his views were misguided. It's simply a take on life that rather than always looking forward to a distant goal that you can or cannot achieve, that one must stop and really take meaning into the accomplishments that they have had with their life.
He couldn't even recognize that he saved the littlest one, and that was such an accomplishment.
A grave thing that we should bear in mind as our journeys continue. We wish to stop the dragon cult, but every life that we save, every town, every life made better through our actions, there's meaning in that. Think of Greenus. Would it not be leveled, razed to the ground, if we hadn't been there?
Bartholomew kind of sweeps his gaze over the view, a slight smile on his face. Totem, you have yet to speak. Do you have any thoughts or words of wisdom about the story that...
Not really. Not really, but just it was a decent story, if you ask me.
A decent story.
At least the dog had a full belly at the end.
Actually, Totem, as he clears his throat, you're exactly right, because that was not actually the end of the story. Actually, the ending goes like this. That night, the
If
little
the
dog...
dog dies, I don't know if I want to hear it.
Hold on. Let me complete the story for you. That night, the little dog snuggled into a warm bedside by the fire, hugged by the farmer's children, his belly full, and as he did, the dog thought to himself, I doubt any dragon ever had it so good anyways.
Well, that's a pretty good ending.
You sound like a very good dog.
All understood the story better than... I'm impressed. Most people are very and incredibly upset by the end of the... as I end it so abruptly, without giving the true ending. You, however, all took a moment to think on it and ruminate about it. Reflect on your own actions and things that you've done in your life. Exactly what the story is supposed to do for you.
There's powers in stories. Magic in words. After all, that's what they call it spelling.
Quite right, Ronick. Though I don't think anybody thinks about it quite in the same way you do. It is accurate.
Ronick really is, like, pretty one of a kind.
I think you're all probably one of a kind. You have to cherish your individuality. Things that only you can do, as the dog did.
What makes us us? And he thinks on that, ruminating for a moment. As a warmth seems to envelop his face, a smile creasing across. But then his gaze turns to the others. The sad look once again overtakes his countenance. Yes, I suppose that such a thing would be important to remember.
Indeed.
Got a mod in the chat.
I saw that.
Hey, make me a mod, I'll block him for you.
I don't know how to do any of that, but I will correct that later.
Lock it real quick just because Twitch does a thing where if anybody clicks it and gets hacked, like they're like, well, this happened on Brandon's stream.
How do I do that?
Click their name and then click block or ban.
Block.
Yeah, same with me, Red. I instinctively went to like reach to like block them, and I was like, oh, I can't.
Yeah, I'll have to make some mods because I don't know how to. I
got
hardly ever use Twitch at all, anyways, or
Yeah.
any streaming programs. So. I hope you enjoyed the story. It's not often I get to tell it.
I'm just
You
enjoying
tell it very well.
Thank you. It's good to share such stories and help people reflect upon themselves so that they can be the best version of themselves.
We are like steel, to be tempered through experience and self-reflection. And if we do not take the time to do that, then our very selves will dull over time.
Wise words. Wise words.
That sounds like something
Spoken
you
from
would
one
do.
who is...
Sorry.
Huh. Your grandfather used to say that.
Yes.
Truly. I wonder. What kind of man was your grandfather?
A great warrior.
Oh, great warrior. Is he someone who has story?
Oh, he has lots of them.
Truly.
I'm not very good at telling stories, so I basically sum them up and butcher them. But he has amazing stories. Ones like you just said.
Interesting. That sounds like a wise fellow.
He's well traveled.
That's the best way to be, I think. To be well traveled and see as much before you inevitably meet your end. The more experience, as Ronak so eloquent, the more rounded of an individual you get. You broaden your perspectives, and you can see the world in a different light. And well, I like to think that traveling just makes better. In most cases, not all.
Speaking of stories, Totem, you're well traveled. Do you have any stories?
As he coughs.
That's because he's allergic to your bullshit.
I see. I apologize.
Yes, it's either the bullshit stories or your fucking horse. No.
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 I see.
No.
It's going to be that kind of trick.
No.
Just saw her on your couch.
You should probably roll for initiative because I'm itching for a fight.
It's already over, my friend. No. But yes, I have a few stories, but I think we should probably focus on getting where we're going first, and then hopefully later on I can share those awesome stories with you.
I understand. It'll give you time to ruminate on the best one. And the next time we move, you can tell this grand tale of yours. I'd be excited to hear it.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Well, it seems as though we'll be hitting the dusk soon. He kind of points over to the horizon. See that outcropping? That little lump on the hill there? I believe that's the dusk. About 10 or 15 more miles. Quite a place. No, it's only a few more hours and we'll be there. We make good time. Telling stories is good for that. Pass the time without even knowing.
That's always the best time.
Indeed.
I'm his relative after all.
I suppose it is. How are your... He looks around a bit. How are your pets doing? Children, sorry.
Speaking with
You have everything you need to accommodate them.
yes. Takes out Cocktail and puts him up on her shoulder to kind of get a little air before we get to the dusk. Is it?
Yeah, yes, for dusk. Yep.
Yes. Yeah, can now actually sit there.
Yes, now would be a good time to let them stretch. Anything like that? If need be.
Listen, we'll do the same. Take Reggie out of his hiding spot and let him lap around. Feed him some more jerky.
Honestly, take that you might as well.
Quite a different disposition than the last dragon I saw.
Right?
Yes.
Is that the one in greenest?
Yes, that large blue one that flew over.
Wait, you actually saw it?
Of course, it was massive. Flying everywhere.
You barely saw a shadow of it in the night.
No.
Or are you
no,
talking
I'm-
about sorry, or was that in the beginning when Brandis was first on fire when we arrived?
Well, when you guys first arrived, it was dusk, so it was getting to be dark outside. So, but you could see the dragon for more or less what it was, and the colors that were detailed on it before it actually hit dark. So you know what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, terrifying thing.
I hate to think that these small little babies could become something so ferocious.
They are mighty and ancient creatures. Most, if not all people, stand. They grow and live to be ancient, years beyond years. As far as I know, they live to be longer lives than any other creature, well, that's ever lived.
They can be old. Absolutely. But that's where we come in. We teach them in their formative years. How to give up.
And break the cycle.
I think you've got the right about it. It's a wonder that people never thought about doing it before. Interesting. That's got me curious. But I was going to mention earlier, you had asked me to look into dragons next year. Unfortunately, my time is confined to my work. However, if nothing fruitful comes in my own looking, whatever it is I seek, I will make the extra effort to look up anything regarding dragons. But only if work allows. I must make my tasks priority.
I understand.
Yes. It's getting late, and we're nearly on. Shall we make it into town?
Yes.
I think so.
Very good. Find your dragons and make it right.
So we shall.
Buckhill puts back into sleep. And
Alright, then.
little rage.
Yeah, put a little rage away. Stop throwing it like football. Good lord.
Cathio still has little rage with Buckhill now. Looking at him.
No dragons for you.
Confiscated.
Oh, you lost dragon privileges.
Dragon privileges for rogues.
Snap.
Oh man.
So, is the five of you on for dusk in the late afternoon? Many thoughts weigh on your minds. This new traveler, seemingly good-hearted, good-natured individual, potentially an ally, wants to help you with your tasks of raising the dragons in any way you can, and potentially it could have rippling effects that affects the world in a positive way, but that's yet to be seen. For now, we'll end tonight's session. Good job, everybody.
Yay.
On work. Very good, man.
Good
Nice.
job, everyone.
I just realized I could have just turned into a horse.
Ah, yes. Let Ronick.
I can't turn into a horse big enough for running, but
Not to be fair, you could have at best turned into a horse for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But, yes.
Good job, everybody. That was quite something.
Yeah, that was rock solid, dude.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the story?
Loved
so
it.
good.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
I found a way to
pace.
Yeah, it had to be
found a
like
way to incorporate.
I was captured by it. So Perfect.
Good. All right. Everyone, go ahead and award experience.
100.
Who is 150?
Okay.
Say who it is and why, and I'll get your experience.
Mine's gonna go to Ronick because of how well you're playing that. He's so lonely.
We gotta find an elephant lady and get you laid.
Well,
I'm gonna give mine to Totem for all the hilarity and for shutting down that story. Like when you got put on the spot, you're just like, maybe when you earn a story, you'll get a story. It's a really funny way to play that off.
you gotta earn that shit right now.
Damn straight.
It's a good way to stay in character while not doing something you don't want to do.
Thank you.
A Stranger in Paradise, where they did this like entire exposition dump, and the main character says bullshit and puts his hair and walks away listening to Limp Bizkit, and I was like, that's Totem, baby. That's like, oh, so where's you know, my friend? Bullshit.
That and like, why is everyone pressuring me?
Sorry.
Dude, hilarious.
I know. I was like, thanks a lot, Kim.
I'm sorry for trying to bring you into the spotlight.
It was too bright.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. I would like to go down to it's really hard because everybody had really amazing scenes tonight, just for different reasons. I gotta give a call out to Nissa though, just because you managed to drive the narrative forward. You were really good about calling out the people into your scenes, and you did it in a way where you were just still authentically being your character, which is great to see. Like, you were I was really watching the face and the mannerisms. You were getting very Schitt's Creek. It was everything.
A little bit la 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 la.
Yeah. Little bit of Alexis. It was fantastic. But that's not to detract from either of the other two of you, because you both absolutely killed it tonight. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, everything was pretty awesome. The thing I liked the best was when Kathy was kind of brought back to the library with the guy that we met and stuff, and you know that kind of like a little bit there, kind of like more connection with that and everything.
Sus.
Very, yeah,
Of interrogation.
yeah. So I'm
now we're trying to wink at somebody and they're like, what? What's he talking about, confidence?
yeah, you know, just try and make it as smooth as possible, and just like, okay, so it's not working.
Huh? What's your name? I don't know what you're trying to talk about. Oh, hey, there's something in my trunk.
Alright, was that everybody? Yeah, alright. So everybody gets 1,000 experience
Fucking
tonight.
hard ass.
You're welcome. Okay, fine. 500.
Thanks, Nick.
200, I already wrote it down.
Oh, he meant to say five. He meant to say 500 more. 500 more.
No.
You know what? I'm gonna make my own D&D game with blackjack and sex workers. So
So is it 1,000 or is it actually 500? Thanks to Nick. Okay. Thank you.
yeah.
You wrote it down. I already did the math.
Okay, next session it'll be 0. So.
Oh, sorry. I can't make it. I was
Nico,
excited.
thank you so much for coming and hanging out.
Somebody sing
We're
that,
going to be
dude.
doing some more D&D tomorrow, and tomorrow is Divine Beast. So hopefully see you there. And I do apologize
And I
for
really
that
need
cough,
this to be
coughing
about
all
like
night.
us.
Sorry about that.
So
Yeah. No.
But you have a great night, and until next time.
Alright, well, yeah. Great job, everybody. That was. Thanks for letting me talk your ear off with the story.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was, as I was reading it, it ended up being longer than I had anticipated, and I kept going, and I'm like, oh
time for
For
a
not
walk.
killing the dog.
Thank you. Yes.
Right.
I was afraid you were gonna kill the dog.
Oh no, I seen that he changed it really fast. Like, oh shit, no.
Well, let me change that ending again.
And I'm out.
Dog.
Bye.
Bye.
There's John Wick.
All right, and yeah. So with that, that ends. Be back in 2 weeks, and I want to say thanks
We
to
will.
everyone that hung out on the stream.
We'll be back tomorrow, you son of a bitch.
No, for this game. We'll be back to this game in 2 weeks. We're not going to be playing Rise of Tiamat tomorrow. Don't look at me like that.
Or are we?
Just close your eyes.
And we're not going to be back on Schmidt's channel tomorrow. We'll be on your channel tomorrow.
And also my Twitch crew, thank you so much for being here and just coming and hanging out.
So,
And
technically, again, to quote him, Nick,
hopefully catch you guys tomorrow.
It's
Tomorrow's
kind of
Divine
like-
Beast for D&D. And hopefully when it pops on, check it out. It's actually a really cool game. And also thank you so much for my lurker that came and hang out. Thank you so much for being here.
Who's in the stream?
Alright, we're ending the stream, so good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Have a good night.
Night.
Good night.
And until next time.